Have you ever wanted to combine your two most beloved activities, Minecraft and chess, into one thing that you can do at the same time? Well, don't worry, as your wish will be granted. In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the coolest, fanciest, most breathtaking, sexiest chessboards that you have ever seen inside of Minecraft. I will also be providing you with a world download in case you want to play in this world. And to prove to you that these boards work, I will be 1v1ing my friend with a game of chess in Minecraft, using these boards of course. So I have made two designs of boards, a wooden style and a more metallic modern style. So I tried to find the Minecraft items which most look like chess pieces, in color and shape. I decided to stick with mostly leather armor, as you can dye it to make it of the same color as the chess pieces, and the armor itself can resemble a chess piece shape. And since there are 6 different chess pieces and only 5 different leather pieces, I had to pivot to using one item which wasn't a leather piece, and that is the king. I have used swords for the king, as if you set it in this position it can look like a cross, and we all know kings have crosses. Also, by having a sword be the king, it is easier to locate it on the board. This comes in handy as the king is the most essential piece in chess, and it is good to know where it is to be able to protect it. Then for the board itself, I used alternating block colors so that you're able to differentiate between the black spots and the white spots in both of these cases. And then I also added in an outline of other blocks to give it this finishing touch and make it look nicer. To be able to see the coordinates of the chessboard, we have items on the sides to easily and visually see the names of the columns and the names of the rows. And lastly, we have invisible item frames, which make the item placements on the boards look a lot cleaner without seeing the item frame itself, which can make it harder to see if the block behind it is black or white. And obviously, if you're building this in survival, you won't be able to place invisible item frames, but that is okay, as it will still work if you have normal item frames. You'll just get a slight aesthetic inconvenience. Alright, so let's start by building the wooden style. So these are the materials that you will need in order to build the chessboard. In case you're doing this in survival, count by having around 2 stacks of item frames, about half a stack of these blocks, a stack of this block, and at least 2 stacks of this block. Then you will need more than one of some of these items in order to place all the pieces on the chessboard. But don't worry, I'll show you how to do this step by step. Start by taking your dark oak stairs and placing a 12 by 12 frame with all the stairs facing in. When you have your frame placed in, take your dark oak blocks and make an inner frame using them. When you have finished the inner frame, take your stripped wood blocks and fill in your chessboard space. Your stripped birch wood will be the white squares and your stripped spruce wood will be the black squares. So start by placing one white square on the bottom right corner. It is really important that your bottom right corner is white or your chessboard will be messed up. Now just start alternating the wood blocks. Keep alternating blocks of the 2 different colors, making sure that no blocks of the same color are next to each other. When you have reached the end, your chessboard should be looking like this right now. Now it's time to place in the item frames. If you're doing this in creative and want invisible item frames, you need to run a command which will give you an item frame with an invisible tag on it. If you're playing on 1.20.4 or earlier, you need to run this command over here to give you the invisible item frame. I will link it in the description. This will give you an invisible item frame, as you can see, which you can place down and you will not see. However, if you're playing on any version after 1.20.4, which means 1.20.5 and later, you will need to use this command in order to get the item frame, which doesn't work in this version since I'm playing 1.20.1. I will add in both of these commands in the description. So once you have your invisible item frames, just fill in every single block of the chessboard with an item frame. You need an item frame on every single block, so don't miss any. Once you have placed them down, you can break them by clicking on them, but you need to know where they are in order for that to work. Now that you have your whole chessboard filled in with item frames, add in item frames on the edges of the chessboard. However, do not place anything on these corner blocks. So once you have your invisible item frames placed in, now it's time to place in your chess pieces. Now since we're using leather armor, I dyed it to make it look similar to the colors of the squares of the chessboard. But to get the correct armor color, you need a specific amount of specific dyes. So as we can see, this is going to be the correct color crafting recipe for each set of chess pieces. The white team needs these dyes in order to get the correct color, and the black team needs these dyes in order to get the correct color. Then you just need to go ahead and craft the 5 pieces of leather armor with both of those colors for the black team and the white team. Then just go ahead and get a wooden sword for the black team and a golden sword for the white team. If you want, you can go ahead and name the chess pieces with their corresponding chess names. The easiest way to do this is just by using an anvil. Now go ahead and place your white set of pieces on the chessboard, but make sure that the bottom right corner is white. Start by placing 8 pawns on the second row. Then place both rooks on the edges. Now come in and place your knights. Then your bishops. Make sure your queen is on the white central square and turn her upside down. And finally, make sure your white king is on the black central square and rotate him until the sword is pointing down. Now come to the other side and do the same thing, but with the black chess pieces. You will notice that you will have to rotate the pieces for them to be in the correct position. When you have placed in your chess pieces, go ahead and take 16 pieces of leather and name them A to H and 1 to 8. Go to the white side of the board, and on the left edge below the rook, place 1 letter named A, then B, then C, and all the way until H. Now go to the black side of the board, and on the left edge below the rook, place 1 piece of leather named H. You will probably have to rotate this piece of leather, and all the way until A. You should see now that the A column on the white side is also named the A column on the black side, and same story for all the other columns. Now take your pieces of leather named by numbers. Go to the white side of the board and place on the right edge a piece of leather named 1, then 2, then 3, and all the way until 8. Now go to the black side of the board, and on the right edge, place 1 piece of leather named 8, then 7, then 6, and all the way until 1. You will need to rotate these pieces of leather. Now you should make sure that any row named by a number on one side is also named by that same number on the other side. Now you should see that each side has leather items facing their direction on the bottom and on the right. As you can see, this is also the case for the white side. When you have reached this stage, you have finally completed your wooden chessboard. So now it is ready to play. Now I will show you how to make the metallic, more modern looking chessboard, but the process is the same. As you can see, the amount of materials that you will need for this chessboard is the same as the other one. The only thing that changes here is what materials we're using. I'm using blocks of netherite for the black squares on the chessboard, but obviously if you're building this in survival, I do not recommend that you use blocks of netherite for the black squares of a chessboard. You can use other alternatives for the black squares on the chessboard, such as coal blocks. Start by taking your smooth quartz stairs and placing in a 12 by 12 frame. When you have the outer frame done, place a row of blocks on the inside, just like last time. When you have your inner frame placed in, start alternating your chessboard blocks just like we did last time. So go to the bottom right corner and place the white block, then the black one, then the white one, then the black one, and so on. Now that you have your chessboard squares in, place in the invisible item frames like we did last time. Now that your chessboard is covered in invisible item frames and so are the edges except for the corners, it's time to put in the chess pieces. This time it is much easier to dye the leather armor as it is only dyed in white for the white team and in black for the black team. For the king, I'm using a netherite sword on the black team and an iron sword on the white team. So to add in the chess pieces, make sure that the bottom right square is white and just add in the pieces as we did last time. Now go to the other side of the chessboard and do the same thing for black. Now it's time to add in the coordinates of the chessboard. This time, instead of using pieces of leather, we're using pieces of paper. I have done this to stay consistent with the color palette. So go to the bottom left corner and add a piece of paper saying A, all the way to H. Now go to the bottom left corner of the black side and add in a piece of paper saying H. You will need to rotate it 4 times. Do this all the way until you reach A. Now take your numbered pieces of paper and on the white side, on the right edge, add in a piece of paper saying 1, then 2, and all the way until 8. Repeat this on the black side, but start by 8 and go down to 1. You will need to rotate your pieces of paper 4 times. Now just double check to make sure that the column A is also named column A on the other side. And make sure that row 1 is also named row 1 on the other side. With this in effect, all other columns and rows should also be named with the same numbers and letters on both sides. Well, that was it. You have now built 2 different chessboards inside of Minecraft. Now I'll be 1v1ing my friend to prove to you guys that this chessboard actually works. Alright, friend, so we're gonna randomize who gets white and who gets black. Whatever comes out of this dispenser is gonna be your color. Alright, so you get white. Don't worry, I'll still destroy you with black. E4, alright, I'm gonna go with E5 then. So we both started the game with our openings, but little did I know that my friend had a trick up his sleeve, which would gain him an advantage.
I will do a special move.
Pawn C3. I would just castle then.
I eat your horse.
No face.
Oh, that's a hard move. But I can do a fork.
My horse and my bishop. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. I'm just gonna take your pawn. So you got 3 points of an advantage now.
You are thinking too much. I will expel your horse. Yeah, loser. You want to resign.
I'm gonna stay fighting.
Bishop time.
Just develop that pawn. Even though right now that I'm thinking about it, it's not the best movement I could have done.
I will move my rook. Your turn.
I'm gonna do a sacrifice. It's gonna be the best movement you've ever seen. Bishop H3.
I must eat.
I clearly did not like how this game was going, so I decided to play defensive and try to get as much as I could out of the pieces I had left. I'm not interested in a queen exchange, so I'm gonna move queen G6.
I want your queen. That's a blunder.
I'm gonna just do queen E4. Just defend my king until the last moment.
Other pawn.
I'm gonna bring my queen over here and play defensive. I'm just move my pawn up here.
You are losing, my friend. I want your queen. I think that my plan start. Check it, check it, check, check.
Oh, here I got your queen. Oh, so you're gonna eat my pawn, I see. You're gonna oh, I keep getting your pieces.
Thief.
Thief.
I want your queen.
I'm just gonna play defensive. It needs to be a stalemate. Why did you actually do that? Unless I'm seeing something wrong, I can just easily take your bishop back. Because my queen is defending the essential spots for mate. Or yeah, it's wait, I now see the mate. I now see the mate. Okay. Okay, that was so stupid of me. Oh my god.
Oh.
Yeah, I see.
I win.
Yeah, you won. I see now. You won the game. You won the game. Okay.
Good game. Good game.
All right. All right. Good game. Good game. But I can't leave this way. I can't leave this way. I must get revenge. Die.